Welcome to House of Dreams. Fantastical worlds, mythic beasts, and wondrous tales. Set your imagination free. We are a TTRPG actual play collective led by queer, BIPOC, and marginalized folks. I am Okami, and I'll be your guide. Today, we present the final episode of Chapter 2 of A Season's Oath, a Wanderhome actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A Season's Oath will lean deep into themes of folklore punk. It's a West Marches, hexcrawl, OSR inspired journey with a core cast of travelers, joined by guest travelers who weave in and out of the journey, all of them seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. A journey that will take them into the many forgotten and sacred places all over Haeth. The series will showcase the full rules of Wanderhome by Possum Creek Games, including seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and natures, and J Dragon's Patreon homebrew magic rules. For this second chapter, we're raising funds for Project Hope for LA wildfire relief. Please donate to the cause. You will see a Tiltify link in the chat or use the QR code in the overlay. Please donate if you can. We also have some fun incentives to add color and wonder to our journey, which will also be in the chat via Nightbot periodically. Let's go through them first, shall we? For $5, you can gift a token. Travelers gain a token they may use and save. For $15, you can introduce a new kith. Any named kith associated with the place that they're exploring, you pay $15, that kith will be brought in. If all of the named kith that from a place have already been brought in, myself and the rest of the players will all collaboratively come up with a new kith and introduce them in on the spot. For $25, you may gift the group either a relic or a magic trait. A relic is a special kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler who carries it with a supernatural trait as if they were a kith. Each relic also has a unique bit of Haeth lore that comes with it. A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. And a magic trait, $25, immediately they gain either an additional tier in a magic trait they already know, or the first tier in a new magic trait, deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We have a donation goal of $50. Every $50 raised while we're playing will awaken a folklore. The folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with is immediately brought into the current scene, or if we're in the middle of the vibes or our feelings or it doesn't fit, immediately after. But now, let's go ahead and introduce our cast of travelers. I'm going to start with our returning cast member, Lex. Tell the world who you are, who you're playing, your character's pronouns, their playbook, and then popcorn it to another one of your fellow travelers.
Hi, I'm Lex. I also go by Forta-Ver on the internet. That's Fortaver, with and without the dash in between. I illustrate, I play games, and today I'm going to be playing Samael, the Mongoose Exile, who they're just trying their best. He's skittish, he's caring, and he's just scared of having his trust broken again and again and again. So that's who I'm playing, and I'm gonna popcorn over, I think, to Tomas.
Hello, my name over here is Tomas Gimenez Rioja. I come all the way down from Argentina, and my pronouns are he, him. I play Ricardo, the Axolotl pronouns he, them. And he has the archetype of the playbook of the Fool, which we will keep finding out the reasons why he is named that way. I'll shove it to Jhevaunte now.
Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binding findies, and hellions of all walks of life. My name is Jhevaunte. Pronouns are he, him. I play Chuki, the black-footed cat, pronoun she, her, of the veteran playbook, who had a lot of sad and enlightening things revealed about her on our last episode, so I'm very excited to see where this goes from here. And, of course, popcorning it over to Aadi.
Thank you. Hello, people of the internet. I am Aadi MK. You can find me at Moonlight Creations on Instagram and Twitch, but I am a he, him, and I will be playing Bhaloo, who is a moon bear guardian who takes care of his little lovely ward, Louise. And he also had some growth, even when he did not realize it. And he still has the love of his life with him, but
I know it's complicated. So, just for our amazing audience, some content warnings. A Season's Oath deals with all kinds of different heavy themes. The impact and healing from the trauma of war, lost loved ones, issues of mental health, issues of recovery. So take care of yourselves. And if there's anything that is intense for you, we want you to look after yourself first. Pause the stream, walk away. Just letting you know we care. So, without further ado, we are going to answer 4 important questions going into our next place. The first question for our group is, what sort of place did we just travel from?
This is in between the last episode and now.
Yeah, this is in between. But, how did you all reunite once again after being separated?
I think after perhaps the long and hot sunny days of the Mariposa Fairgrounds with a refreshingly cool breeze, we've moved through the season, and now, partly because it's raining outside and there's a delicious rumble of lightning and thunder, but I think we walk into a place that is just raining.
So you went
Constant.
somewhere coastal with a lot of rain is where you just were?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of brings us back.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Those kinds of places that is always raining, but very light rainfall that
that
barely.
drizzle.
the
Yeah,
drizzle,
like a
kind of like Seattle.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is,
kind of like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, where the
It
rain
is
is more
perhaps-
about the region and less about the season.
Hmm.
Okay.
We probably stumbled into each other like at a tavern somewhere, and just
Okay.
all just like, oh,
Yeah.
I almost feel like it was a case of stumbled into at the tavern, but I've been kind of trying to keep up with y'all at a distance. And this is just where it finally was like, okay, we have left
time.
the place I'm avoiding.
Right.
And now we're here.
Yeah. Do we feel the journey has been long? And once again, this is a feeling because every part of this chapter has been technically a month. Was it like, did you meet late in the month? Did you meet early in the month? Was it a long trip? Does it felt like a quick trip?
I feel that, at least for Ricardo, the whole thing that went on there at the Mariposa Fairgrounds would have caused him to have everything feel longer. Detaching from that and going again on an adventure feels more heavy than it used to be.
Yeah. Is there some?
Conversely,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
conversely, Samael feels like it was very short because it's like, okay, just counting down the days. We're
Mhm.
here.
Okay. Uh, and is there somewhere we hope to go? What do you think, Jhevaunte?
I think as a whole, like short term, clearly, Chuki wants to get anywhere that there's not rain. Um,
Cat, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Chuki is more miserable than she has ever looked like normally.
Right.
I think long term, I think now they're at the point of like now it's less so of we have a destination in mind, but I think now the group is at a like what actually is our destination.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's fitting. Just a whole lot of cool. We've reunited. Now
Now
what?
what? Yeah.
Now what? Yeah.
Exactly.
And finally, but silently, in our heads, where is my home? And with that, we begin one last journey. It is an interesting season, the season of Breathe. The first month of Breathe is swarming. Swarming is when the air is filled with the buzzing of countless bugs. The place that you are approaching during Breathe, having left behind that rainy coastal town, has the aesthetics of dewdrops on leaf tips, constant and distant buzzing, and ornate and elaborate displays. The signs of the month are fireflies at twilight, merchants from distant lands, long walks in the evening, and a festival honoring the local herds and the sustenance they provide. Samael, in collaboration with all the other travelers, what is this festival called?
Hmm.
On the one hand, I don't know that Samael ever calls it what it's supposed to be called. He just calls it Bumble Time. It's Bumble Time because the bumbles are everywhere and they're so soft and fuzzy and they're just so vibrant and buzzy. It's Bumble Time.
Definitely.
Okay.
Does anybody want to know what's the official name?
Maybe something regarding honey, as there are many bumblebees,
Hmm.
or the sweet something. Any ideas that come to mind?
My brain's going the
Gathering of the
Sugar Glass
herds.
Festival.
The
Kinda.
gathering of the herds or something. I don't
What was
know.
that? The what?
The gathering of the herds.
Ooh. Gathering of the Herds is a good one.
I could go.
What do you think, Chuki?
I was actually going to add on, like, I actually like that name. I think the concept of it being a very simple name and Samael still shortening it out to Bumble Time is just kind of funny.
The gathering of the herd.
The Herds.
Okay.
All right.
Herds.
Herds, yeah.
All right. So the Gathering of the Herds / Bumble Time is a festival in the area. So you have arrived at the Chrysalis Temple, a lush green plains with ponds, small patches of trees, and a vast temple complex with hanging gardens, massive apiaries, and stone pillars. In the heart of the temple is a vast shrine with an altar in honor to the many gods of bounty and fertility of Haeth and beyond. Here, bug kith are revered alongside the divine, and many pilgrims come here to pay their respects to this place devoted to nature and the sacred arts of bug husbandry. The monks of the Chrysalis temple are said to be able to speak with bugs of all kinds, both wild and tamed, and teach their husbandry arts to all open-hearted pilgrims and shepherds willing to learn. The natures of this place are a glen, a place overflowing with creatures and bugs, alive with movement and presence. It is a monastery, a place where a community gathers to learn from the past and cultivate answers to the complicated questions of the world. It is also, as mentioned in the description, a shrine, a place that houses those unseen until sought out, gods big and small, cared for or forgotten. The aesthetics of this place are watchful caterpillars, soaring dragonflies, a wise elder who remembers you from when you were very young, a simple herb garden, overgrown grass and blackened statues, and an open sanctum, hollow and sacred. This place may always describe a world teeming with life, show conflict between wild creatures, introduce a new buggy creature, give someone a token if they engage with them as an equal, describe the daily rhythm of life, show tension caused by generational divides, ask, are you willing to wait to get the answer you seek? Give them a token if they're there to wait. Do not tell them the answer either way. The folklores of this place are the last of the monarch butterflies, the janitor and the secret lessons he taught, and the trickster daemon's final game. Common animal folk of this place are gazelles, cranes, field mice, and lizards. The small and forgotten gods are translucent giant butterflies and buggy-shaped dew droplets. So, as you step foot in the Chrysalis Temple, what is the first thing you see, Aadi? What is it that catches Louise's attention immediately?
I think as we have walked through this immense horizon meeting almost stretch of masonry that is covered in creepers and grass and with flowers bursting all over the place, we kind of come to the entrance of a rather large temple with a massive carved stone door. And in that, what should have been a courtyard, but like there's just a almost field of color. And before anyone of us does anything, Louise instantly kind of she sees something and she springs forth, and as she kind of lands close to it, that entire carpet of almost subtly shifting color bursts up as it's a massive collection of dragonflies with that was great. Sorry,
That was
that was
dramatic.
that was intense, right? That was fucking intense. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
we
got
saw the light in the
goosebumps.
background as well.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps. Okay, but
Dragonflies,
it's just a carpet of them as and in a sequence, almost like the most intricate and swirled dance.
and you just find yourselves, if I can build off of that. Is that okay, Aadi?
Of course.
You're just surrounded by like an explosion of moving, shifting color as the dragonflies just soar around and above you. And these are massive dragonflies. They're the size of birds in our world. About this big, all of a variety of different colors, kind of exposing, some fields of grass, a few small ponds. It seems as if they were there just kind of resting and eating.
I think in response to the swirl of color and very counter to the sort of withdrawn and just very closed off way that Samael tends to behave. Like there's a brief moment where, just the flare of, cloak and, various other stuff he's got hanging from his belts, just as he's stepping in kind of a playful, it is a dance, but it is not a like known dance. Like it's just you're, being silly and dancing around because it's just color and fun and movement.
Louise is just giggling and spinning around. At a certain point, a companion, Samael, that you met in the previous place, another moon bear, dressed in a beautiful emerald green uh, and gold embroidered sari, um, ankle, wrist bangles as well, and a golden chain, like nose ring from her ear to her nose. Um, has been spending who has been spending time on the road with you all, by the name of Boomy, um, sharing the fires. And this is there a moment you want to do a little flashback here as Boomy is joining you in this dance, and you're remembering how the two of you met. Who among you explained who Boomy was? Was it you, Ricardo? Was it Chuki? Was it Bhaloo himself?
I think I'll popcorn it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I feel I
Actually,
could have been the one to explain it.
you know what? Let's do that. Let's say that maybe this was the first conversation the two of you had.
Okay.
What did you say?
So, when you were gone, we managed to go to different places, and one of these was like a whole full field where a big bug was in there that could grant wishes. And the way that it happened was that we went to a pond, and we all started to talk with this big bug. I forgot the name of the bug.
Balashku.
Balashku, yeah.
Yes.
Balashku. And it is kind of like a god, but not like the small gods we are used to. And because we were nice to them, to him, he granted us some wishes. And for Bhaloo, Louise jumped in and said that she wanted um, his wife to be alive again. And that's how Boomy came with us once more. You remember that Bhaloo said some stuff about Boomy when we were in the haunted house and we met the friendly ghost. Yeah, so she's the one again, and she's quite amazing. She does like this whole flower crowns for people, and she knows how to dance really well. She has been dancing a lot in the Mariposa Fairgrounds with us, and you should really meet her and hang out with her a bit. She has a lot of stuff that she will surely be really looking forward to talk with you.
What did he ask for in return? Ricardo!
No, there was no thing in return. We didn't give anything like that. I think we behaved so greatly and we became such great friends with Balashku that he granted us this wish.
And just the absolute panic of, I mean, just because you were nice and they liked you, just wishes.
Yes,
What?
that's how it works. You need to be nice with people. Go ahead.
At that point, like you'd have been glomped in a bear hug from Bhaloo. Samael, just lift you off the ground a little bit.
It's like torn. The facial expression that he's making is torn between, oh, this is nice. I remember that you are very fun and kind and protective, and then also still but what is the catch? What is the catch?
Yeah.
And
Uh,
I think that unless anyone has anything else they would like to say in this little flashback, I'd like to jump
We're missing you
forward.
so much.
Oh, go ahead.
We don't know where you went, but the people there at Mariposa Fairgrounds were talking about you at moments, and we like you being here as well.
Oh, thanks. The
This is
candle you
almost-
gave me, it pointed a direction, and I had to walk and figure out where it went, and well.
Oh, do they work like that as well? And he creates another candle in his hand.
No, no time to fall asleep now.
Okay.
It just goes back.
Yeah.
Bhaloo shakes his head and sighs.
Louise is sitting on Boomy's lap across on the other side of the fire. And Boomy is like showing her how to read. And you look at her eyes and she looks alive. But you see, as Louise is like excitedly reading out loud to her, you see her pensively look off in the distance, and there's something sad. You know what it is to be lost. You felt that first few steps that you took leaving home. It is something you've overcome, but you see it in her eyes. And you still see it, even as she is dancing around you. The color of the dragonflies swirling around all of you. Do you say anything to Boomy in this moment of dance that you're sharing in the Chrysalis Temple?
Yes. And I think as they're dancing, like, it's very fluid, this motion that Samael makes, and in fishing up the mask just kind of puts it over their face, and is just in moving, like somehow aware of what's around him without seeing it, but staying in more of a centralized area than prior, just because, like, yeah, okay, I can tell what's around me by the vibration of the wings and things, or the sound of your jewelry, but I'm not going to see if I step in a hole.
Right.
Mhm.
So, and what he says is, okay, so he goes, and he's just kind of doing like this sort of stuff around, and does a spin and says, "It's okay. It might be temporary, but it's more time than you had. More time than you had together. So be happy. Don't. Mama always said, don't borrow grief from the future. So just be happy with the time you have.
Take a token.
Wow, what a phrase.
For take a token. That's all I'm going to say organically. And Boomy is like, you are so kind and so very wise. Everything that Bhaloo said about you is true.
It's great because, like, mind you, the whole time you know all you see is this. There's no facial expression, and then just a little dances away.
Take another token for that prop.
Oh,
Amazing. It's so
well
great.
done. Yeah.
Chuki, what are you doing in this moment as you're seeing Boomy and Sam finally connect after kind of quietly sharing the road together since you all reunited?
I think Chuki is kind of not really setting herself apart from the group, but keeping a bit more of a distance than she normally does, just in more of an observational way. Does smile, take it in, gives this little like
oh,
partial the walking stick sword. Oh,
You turned into a robot for 2 seconds.
my bad. Grips onto the walking stick sword
Okay.
a little bit tighter, and is going to. I think she's going to actually move forward and walk by Louise for a moment.
Yeah. Okay. Louise is kind of laughing, kind of, and reaching out to touch, not hurt, but like touch the fireflies. Some of them are like landing on her hand, and kind of looking at her and cooing a bit before flying
wiggling
their
their
way.
antenna.
Yeah, wiggling their little antennas. And she just looks at you and smiles. Isn't this great? I thought they were flowers.
I did once, a long time ago when I first saw them too.
Have you been here before to the Chrysalis Temple?
She looks around it, kind of taking in the sights of it. A long time ago. I might have been your age, maybe a little bit younger.
Wow. Back when you were tall?
Unfortunately, and she like pats Louise's head, I have never been tall.
Well, I mean,
Smaller than you, actually.
you're tall for someone my age. So when you were little, that means you were tall. No, you were even smaller?
Mm-hmm.
Like as small as a bug?
She thinks about that statement.
Which has a different weight in height, right? Because
Yeah, yeah.
bugs are not itty bitty. Bugs are, they range from the size of like a house to like a size of, well, a small cat.
I'm sorry.
She goes
Small
to
aside. I'm imagining now Chuki being carried off by a particularly large dragonfly. Just
Chuki like goes down to a knee and places against like essentially just the back of the sword to Louise's chest, about here.
Oh wow, that is tiny.
We've never been the biggest.
So you kind of feel like the hairs on the back of your neck start to rise, Chuki, as you get that feeling that you are being watched.
switches the grip on the blade and rises again and starts to look around, and ears will start swiveling to see if she can hear somebody coming.
You lock eyes. They're in a tree on a branch. A little bit of moisture dripping off the leaves on the branch. And it's a caterpillar. It's substantial size, it's about this big.
Okay.
Its eyes just staring at you.
Like Pokemon Caterpie size.
Yeah, like caterpillar
Okay.
size. Yeah.
I love it.
And it's just looking.
Natazama nini. Migo mingi? Which translates from Swahili to, what are you watching me for, many legs?
Don't mind Toki. As you see coming from behind the tree, a moon bear woman wearing these beautiful blue like monk's robes, and she's just kind of like eludes calm, and you recognize her. You don't remember her name, but you do remember her from the war, but she was not in this religious attire, and she was much younger. Welcome.
What was she doing?
Oh no, she's stepping from behind the tree.
No, like from the war. Like,
Oh! You don't see her yet, because you're distracted right now. But you will in a moment. But Chuki, you don't recognize her. Well, you do, but you don't remember her name. That's the thing. She steps around. She's like, "Welcome to the Chrysalis Blade, soldier." Oh, who are you? Why don't you ask your father, little one?
Bhaloo?
You turn around, Bhaloo, and the rest of you also, and you see Mother Juniper. Mother Juniper is a wise elder moon bear. She's the relaxed caretaker of the Chrysalis Temple, and she was a nurse, a chaplain, and cook during the war. And after the war, she returned to the Shankdom to resume her sacred caretaker duties. You know that she's blessed with being able to see visions of the future. And it's at this point, as she's walking closer, the little caterpillar, like going into her hand and onto her shoulder, the caterpillar still mean mugging you, that you remember her name. She knew you both before the war changed you. And Bhaloo, she was a mentor and a mother figure to you, and was there to give you love and support when you were still grieving Bumi.
I think like he would just like get the most wide, boyish smile on his face as he regards her, and he will just like, oh, Juniperama, and will just like step up in a with arms out, like this is going to be the bear hug to end
My
bear hugs.
my boy. And she like comes up and just gives you the hugest hug. And
Oh,
and there's gray in her fur now. She's a little more frail than she was, but still sturdy and hale.
Am I actually taller than her now?
Yeah. She's a bit stooped. Just so very good to see you. And you, my little ones.
Oh, you know me?
No, but I would like to know you. I'm Mother Juniper.
Hey, great, I can have another friend.
And who is this beautiful young woman? Oh, I am
Sorry, go ahead.
I am Bumi. I am Bhaloo's wife. Turns around and looks at you.
Bug wishes.
I
That is the only context.
Young man, I am an expert at bug wishes.
Bug wishes.
I could have had that.
Oh, we met the great Valashku, and he granted a very special wish. As Louise takes on a sort of like a more reserved tone than she did last time.
At the same time as a rumble from Bhaloo. But yeah.
Well, everyone, welcome to the Chrysalis Temple. You as well, Bumi. I am so glad that you have made the journey from the other lands and come back to the light to be reunited with your loved ones. Stranger
And
things have happened in Haeth.
and I know that Chuki always pretends to dislike it, but Mother Juniper would probably be a person other than Bhaloo that she doesn't entirely mind getting a hug from. So don't forget this one, and I'll just immediately pick up Chuki.
Is not moving.
Great.
Like picks up, is fully just in the same position, arms crossed.
Dragging through the floor.
I know it has been a very long time.
You've gotten older.
And you haven't aged a day.
I've gotten a bit taller.
So, they call you Chuki now.
I called myself Chuki, and then others adapted it. Yes.
Uh, I was afraid that war would change you.
But Ami, before that, let me introduce the light of my life, as I most certainly was for you. And would kind of turn to Louise and just offer his arm to her as he usually would, and she would kind of just step up into his palm and raise and put her on his shoulder. Um, and as he does this,
Is this Baga student? And you know that Baga is the caring teacher.
he would nod.
I was there when you first came into Baloo's life, girl. Really? Mm-hmm. Yes. It's before I had to return to the temple to resume my duties.
Why did you need to come back to work here?
It is my sacred work. Come, follow me. Allow me to give you a tour.
Okay.
Um,
Are there bugs here?
so many. And as she leads you deeper into the temple complex, you see more of those caterpillars that Toki that's on her shoulder up on the branches, and they're all like that. All the caterpillars here are all just mean mugging. They're just staring at
Okay.
y'all. And sometimes you'll see some other people around. You see a whole bunch of shepherds with bumbles and various other insect kind of herds. You see people here with like giant grasshopper steeds that they're taking care of. It's all just like there's music going on, flower garlands everywhere, people exchanging jars of honey as gifts. It's like a huge, spectacular, essentially like religious festival is going on of all these different like kind of herds of insects and things. You see more of the people wearing the same robes as her. Hers are like a really nice quality, like she's wearing like silks. You see other ones that are wearing like wool or linen robes that are teaching like husbandry classes, that are leading people in like prayers, blessings over their various bug companions. And Mother Juniper says the Chrysalis Temple is a place where we honor the gods and we also honor our buggy companions. We teach individuals husbandry on how to take care of their bugs. We're in the midst of what many of the younger visitors and children of the outlying communities would call Bumble Time, or the gathering of the herds. So you came at a very, very, very special time. It's every swarming here at the Chrysalis Temple. It's not one of the great holidays, but it's special to us.
It's one of the greatest holidays. Look at
Ah,
all the
Rumble
bumbles.
time!
I agree. But there are some places throughout Haeth that celebrate a holiday similar to ours. It's called the Apis Fair, or the Appy Fair, I believe. I would be happy to give you a list of different places throughout Haeth that celebrate the Appy Fair if you're interested. What was it that you said your name was, young man? As she addresses Samael.
Oh, I didn't. I'm Samael.
Well, it is an absolute pleasure. And as I said, I have a map that has all of the places marked that celebrates the Appy Fair or Apis Fair. It depends on where in Haeth that you go, what they call it. But it's very similar to Bumble Time.
As a bit of an edification for myself,
Yeah?
how big are bumbles?
About the size of sheep or goats. They're large. They're big and fluffy.
Okay, Chuki has an odd look of like mild concern. Just and the thought process of this, just
And grasshoppers are the size of horses.
yeah, the concept of hearing about grasshoppers has her terrified, but the bumbles is like mild concern, like, oh right, that's a thing happening today.
Yeah, I have one additional question.
Yes.
What happens with the sting of the bumblebees?
Bumblebees don't have stingers; they are bumblebees.
They don't?
Yeah.
Am I getting... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, Bumblebee?
Bumblebees don't have stingers. They are fat little bodies that just kind of buzz around and go boop on things. Honeybees can have stingers.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we call them the same here in Argentina. That's why my confusion went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I know that there's the fuzzy big ones, and then there's
Yeah.
the little, bees,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize they were
The
Not.
fuzzy big ones, also known as bumblebees, no stingers. They have no defense mechanisms. They're essentially just giant derpy idiots that just fly around, and their defense mechanism is to bump into stuff.
And until
just be so
I
big
think
that
until
And
very recently, modern science had no explanation for how the things could actually fly.
Yep.
It was so funny.
okay.
But
Yeah.
yes, because of the joke thing of Chuki was very small, Chuki genuinely did get like picked up by a bumblebee when she was a
Yep.
little kid. So she's like
Oh,
still has a little like small amount of fear of them being around because like, oh, there's a lot of them. And then grasshoppers just in general scary.
Mhm.
they're big and they eat things.
Mhm.
Yeah. So she just sort of just like leads everyone around there. These are the hanging gardens. This is the community house where people come for shared meals. And this is the central shrine. And she leads you to just sort of this circular open air area. I say open air, so it's got pillars,
Mhm.
a roof, kind of similar to like the pagoda roofs in like Southeast Asia, with red tiles kind of overlaid, and then there's garlands kind of hanging around a beautiful statue of a massive like monarch butterfly, humanoid. Like it's got the face and then it has a body kind of similar to you see the statues in the Buddhist temples, and it's a butterfly that's sort of sitting crisscross applesauce and like a calm like pose, like a humanoid butterfly kind of with big wings, and it looks like somebody, it's like when it was new, it looks like someone like hand carved this magnificent, serene looking like monarch butterfly, and it's been carefully like cared for, and you can see all of these offerings and flowers and incense at its feet, and people are just kind of coming up and like paying it respects, and the various monks are here to just sort of talk to people, and people are having fortunes read, and it's all you know it's both quiet and loud at the same time. It's like very like community based. um and Mother Juniper is just looking upon this place with a look of pride and serene joy at showing this place to you. Baloo, what does it smell like when you enter this sacred space?
There would be a lot of wet stone would be the base of the smell, that is coupled with a lot of petrichor, and a there is the like the almost ambient wafting incense burn of a lot of different herbs and powders. So it it could be cloying, but like there is a nice breeze in the entire temple, so it's like sometimes like just trails of aromatic and contemplative smoke just passing through. So yeah.
Welcome, all of you, to the central temple. Please take your time. You have the hospitality of the Chrysalis temple. I have some pilgrims and some herd folk that I need to attend to. But please, have your leave, relax, and I will find you before the sun goes down and show you where your accommodations are going to be. All
I
right?
must talk, Amu. I would love to talk to you after a long time.
We shall speak before dinner. Ah?
He would not.
And then she leaves your group in this open space.
That way, actually, clarification.
Yes.
Uh, is it just us, or like
No,
is
there are like other people that are. Oh yes.
clarify from our group, the larger group from which we had
So it
Yeah,
is
inside the
Mortimer,
all
bar?
you.
Aaron.
So it's all of you and Boomy, and that is it. Aaron and Mortimer promised Boomy that they would meet up with her, but Mortimer needed to go back to the university, to the Four Quarters Collegium, to turn in. Uh, m- Essentially, Mortimer has to go back and check in with school and do some TA work, and work on his dissertation. Um, and they promised that they would reunite with them, once Mortimer had taken some time back at the university and checked in with the head of his program.
Mhm.
Um, the soldiers, or the retired soldiers, Swara, Basalt, and Kun, decided that they were going to stay at the fairgrounds, like most people do after Clada, and just hang out. And they're going to be staying with Ricardo's parents. And Ricardo's parents opened up their home to them to stay, in the interest of maybe helping Kun have a little bit of a normal adolescence. And Swara promised Chuki that they would meet again, and he said that even if Basalt and Kun were not with them, that he would walk with you back to the grasslands, the great fields, the great savannah, when you are ready, and that he would be waiting in the fairgrounds for you when you're ready to make that journey.
As soon as Mother his Mother
Juniper,
Juniper, yeah, as Mother Juniper is out of sight,
the flower,
um,
not the planet.
yes, Chuki is going to like take a moment. Her foot's like tapping on the ground as she's just looking around this place. She gets this strangely like childlike smile and to make her way over to Bhaloo, but goes around you just to your pack and starts like fishing through some of the pockets and sides. I put it in one of these. Where did it? Ah! And she like reaches her whole arm in and then withdraws a small little glass vial with what looks like just small floating dried up leaves in it.
Oh,
So
The last
Catnip.
of the good shit.
Catnip. She smiles.
Boomy is like, the very good shit.
nice mint.
Oh, the good. And then Boomy like puts her paw on Louise's mouth and is like, wearing is for adults.
Yes, yes.
I am an
I have
adult.
been,
No, you are
I
not.
have, I have been careful.
She spins
He-
it
he
in her
has not.
hand in the most like. Again, this is for her. Just like all this whole look on her face is so completely opposite of every other look that she has had. It's not angry, it's not melancholic. There's a genuine like childlike glee as she looks around this temple. I haven't been here since I was a little kid. I'm going to enjoy as much of it as I can without a bumble picking me up. And she's going to walk over to a little small like cushion that's in front of this statue and is going to uncork and then just take a
Just
big inhale.
Got picked up by a bumble.
and as you inhale
Lucky.
that, and you just, we're gonna go to break.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We'll be And we're back. So, Chuki ends up inhaling all of this catnip while sitting in front of this shrine of the last monarch butterfly. Are there any kind of moves that you would like to make, Chuki, in this moment?
We look at
Of the setting of your playbook?
But may I
um,
please make a request?
What?
Do it as you are like on the crest of a catnip wave.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bless
Let's
you.
go.
Thank
Bless you.
you.
Bless you.
Sorry.
All good. If there isn't, I can always pass to another traveler. But I just wanted to see if there was anything you wanted to do in this moment.
Play with the catnip. You're mute, by the way.
Oh, one moment.
Technical difficulties, folks. Give us a minute.
Just some technical difficulties.
Stream monkeys.
Uh-oh.
We're getting there.
Uh-oh.
I still can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Okay, no worries. You troubleshoot that. I'm going to pivot over to Samael and Ricardo.
Okay.
You see Chuki is there zoning out in front of the shrine.
People's wide.
And Papa Bhaloo and Boomy and Louise are kind of looking out after Mother Juniper as she leaves. What are the two buddies doing in the back?
So I feel like on the whole way to, through this tour,
Mhm.
Samael was just discreetly nipping like sprigs of various fragrant herbs as, passing by them, and twigs of pretty, flowers, and just in general, just collecting and gathering. And now that the tour is over, and it's just like, pulls them out of the cloak, like, yes, Ricardo, it's Bumble time. It's time to
Oh.
make. It's time to make. And he just kind of grins because, like, I feel like there's a tradition where they're from where passing herds through the fairgrounds, the people of the fairgrounds make like little, not wreaths specifically, but like little. I'm trying to think of what you call them, where you like put it on pin it onto something.
Boutonnieres.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like they make those and give them out to like the smallest bumble they see, the biggest bumble they see, the
Like
prettiest bumble they
prizes.
see. Yes.
Oh yeah, like a
Okay.
county fair prize. Almost.
Yes.
I love that. That is so great.
And I don't know that that's something that the local people do, but that's something that
But
maybe
they
the
do.
Mariposa Fairgrounds do. So it's just like, it's Bumble time. We need to do this, please.
You told me many times about how they do it in the Bumble times, but it's my first time doing this. So how should we look for these Bumbles and categorize them?
Okay, so the two easiest categories are biggest bumble and smallest bumble, because you just look for the very biggest you could see and then the very smallest you see. It starts when you start and then it ends at the end of the day.
Okay.
Usually it starts in the morning, but we didn't start in the morning. We didn't get here in time.
No, but we can get it.
Yeah.
If we're rushing up.
We don't need to rush. We just need to look. And
I'm good at looking.
prettiest bumble is going to be hard because then we have to look at all the bumbles and like compare them. And I don't think we can convince the herd folk to let us compare all their bumbles.
But isn't
In a
beauty
line.
relative?
Yes.
So how can we find that?
Well, you get yours to give to your prettiest bumble, and I get mine to give to my prettiest bumble, but still not quite fair. We might have to not have that category because, like, you should line them up so you can actually look at the prettiest ones.
Maybe we can try to line them up. We can hurt them. That's what the whole thing is about, right?
Louise starts
We're-
tugging at Bhaloo.
We're not the herd folk, and they'll get mad if we just take their
Yes.
bumbles.
Yes, Chili.
Bhaloo, Boomy, what are they talking about?
I would immediately. And where do you think you're going? Good button.
It's bumble time.
Bumble time, Bhaloo. Do you want to help? Just herbs, just sprigs of herbs and plants and flowers and like maybe some ribbons and scraps of cloth that have been collected along the road itself.
Boomy, completely misunderstanding what you're talking about, is like, oh, is those offerings to the last monarch?
Chuki, hoping my mic is working.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Chuki, like, actually, like, instill the position of like a meditative state, physically just rolls her entire body backwards to look at them, eye pupils super wide. They're talking about Bumble Time, which means that they give prizes to the prettiest, biggest, and smallest bumbles.
And then sometimes the strongest, but then you'd have to actually see them get to do their work, and we don't get to see that probably.
Yes, but
Correct.
I remember this. The last time we went through this, I
Bumble
had to
time sounds
catch
like
Ricardo
fun.
twice
Uh,
when he tried to climb on one of the bigger ones and it just took flight.
That's the best part, though!
It's
you
being
fly
in the
them?
air.
Yes!
No, being in the air is not
It's
fun.
so fun. They don't drop you.
I think being
Most
in
of
the
the
air is
time.
fun.
Louise Channing.
Chuki Chuki like looks at Samael, these wide, giant pupil eyes, with just like passing on a memory of like they do drop you. Just
Then most of
But
the time.
she like takes in another breath and looks like she's gonna get up and instead just rolls onto her stomach, stretches, but and she'll and I'll do the move of sharing something about this place.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But this place was sacred for, those that took care of the buggy people. Hence, gestures to the butterfly. Hence, the big guy back there. This entire place was designed as sort of a sanctum for all of the winged and the crawly folk. So,
And there's like various people nodding, like the other people that are in this big space, like with smiles on their faces, like, yeah, she knows what she's talking about.
So, if you want to see the strongest, you could just ask and observe. Ricardo, would be a good thing for you to learn to observe.
I know how to look at stuff. I have eyes for that.
Yes, but to really look at stuff, to stay still and let the world impart its knowledge to you first before you take action.
Ricardo feels like he has received a revelation.
Sometimes you can always watch, but not truly see.
I would like to propose a montage.
I'm listening.
Okay, I am listening as well.
Where for the next couple of hours, your group, with or without Chuki,
She'll join.
make your way throughout the temple complex, meeting bumbles, judging bumbles, seeing them go and on moments of feats of strength, and just tying these garlands, showing Louise around for her first bumble time, for throughout the day. How does that sound?
There's like a
I like that
still
idea.
there's like a still image in one of these montages of everyone like forcing Chuki to place her hand on a bumble's head. She's like
Yes,
physically trying to pull herself back.
yeah, it's so great.
Claws just no.
No,
No.
yes. Yeah, let's all add one little thing. So, like, you've got like Chuki's like and then like Ricardo. Like, what little fun anecdote happens while you're going from place to place with your character?
Ricardo is putting one of the prizes on one of the bumblebees that says "silliest bumblebee."
Yes, yes. I love it. Lex or Samael, what about you? Like, you're kind of like the ringleader in this. So, like, what funny anecdote happens during the day for you?
I feel like there's a brief moment where there's a miscommunication that happens between Samael and some of the herd folk,
Mhm.
and like accidentally ends up being, those like events where you're supposed to herd the sheep into particular corrals and things.
Yeah.
They misunderstand what Samael's asking, and he gets roped into one of those, and it's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not a bumble herder. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, a couple of the monks have to come in and like bail you out, and just
And it's cute, it's funny, but it's like it's a whole lot of chaos of bumbles instead of, coherent, hey, move over here, go over there.
yeah. I think Louise is just like tagging along with everyone and having a great time, and ends up like putting these like little garlands on like cutest bumble is like Louise's like obsession throughout the day.
Samael's from that event, most patient bumble. The one that just kind of was like, okay, I think I get what you're trying to ask me.
I think at some point in the afternoon, Boomy ends up leading How to Teach Your Bumble How to Dance class, and there's like a dance number, with Boomy and all of these different like synchronized bumbles that dance along with her. And then what about you, Bhaloo? What fun little anecdote during Bumble time happens throughout the day
I
with your
think at
character?
I think at one point, as we were strolling around and I was helping Louise put the badges, we would have gotten to the gentlest bumble, which is a full fluff ball with little eyes, and Louise just looked at me with the most pleading eyes. So, despite my better judgment, I helped her on, and now I'm very nervously walking underneath, just muttering, "She sings through trees. She sings through trees. She'll be fine. She'll be fine." But like, like
She's like,
very walking underneath with hands on hips, just like almost ready to like, but like yeah. But
she loves it. She loves it. She's just having a great
uh,
time. Take a token.
Balu Balu hates every moment of it. But
Yeah, take a token. Take a
So
token
does
for
Chuki.
doing something kind for someone without expecting anything in return. Like, and it is just generally a fun day, and the sun starts getting a little low. It's not quite dusk. It's late afternoon. The evening market, which is filled with various merchants, has finally opened. They're lighting up various lanterns. The fire with lanterns there's some lanterns, but there's also like firefly, not cages, but like rest
Kind of cages, but like
kind of
the way
cages.
a dovecote.
Yeah, like places where the fireflies can go in and like rest. They have like, a little bit of like a feeder in them and like a place where they can rest. Uh and all the
I
stalls are starting to yeah,
I'd like to describe the daily rhythm of life
go ahead.
at this moment. As we enter the night market, Bhaloo just turns to everyone and that has been fun, and we had a long walk. Maybe it would be time for some good masala tea and those biscuits. Come, I know one of the best stalls in this whole place. Kafra auntie, come. And I lead them to uh, Kafra's stall.
Oh, okay. So
Oh.
you head over to the stall and you see an owl uh of this person who is an owl.
Mhm.
Um, and they're wearing a long, bright red caftan uh, with a lovely golden silk sash belting it. They're like a barn owl, big, wide eyes, uh, gender ambiguous, a little closer on the feminine side, but not with the broad shoulders, masculine broad
Mhm.
shoulders, though. Um, and Kafra. The stand is like four posts, beautiful lush carpet. There is like a stand where there is, boiling water and teapots and espresso, like a coffee brewing machine. So it's sort of like one part what we would call in our world Turkish coffee, one part
Oh.
like tea set, for masala chai. But there's also like various like rows of like goods of various jars of herbs and spices and trinkets and knickknacks and also jewelry made of like amber and semi-precious stones and just sort of the smell of like saffron and spices and cinnamon just kind of wafting from this place. There's all these like low circular tables and thick, lush, comfortable pillows that you can sit on, and everything is decorated in like reds and lovely patterns. And Kafra emerges from the booth and is like, "Well, hello, welcome. Welcome to Kafres. Is anyone interested in some hot drinks and perusing my various wares?"
Kafra auntie, what else we will come here for?
Yes.
Also, your delightful company.
Well,
Oh.
Baloo, it is so good to see you. How did you know that I would be coming here?
Auntie, only the best people know where in their hearts that they are needed. And at this point, all of us need one of your masala chais. This is best time.
Please come in. And it's at that point uh you hear Louise squeal with joy. And it actually startles Boomy as emerging from because the booth, or I should say more like the booth has like a back area that's covered
Mhm.
by like red cloth, and emerging, out of the curtains comes standing at a lean, mean 6'3", broad shoulders, wearing a really like nice uh, long sleeved kind of form fitting linen tunic with a leather uh, breastplate over it, some puffy bright blue pants, a golden sash that matches Coffrus, like maybe it was a gift, maybe it came from the same place, some really sturdy boots, and a curved blade at his curved jewel hilted blade at his side. and his head is kind of wrapped in black cloth with like black silk kind of wrapped around his head and like falling down the side, and he's got like a beautiful like gold like hoops in his ears, and a somewhat predatory yet clever smile and gleaming blue eyes as a tiger. One that Bhaloo knows very well, and it is Sheer, the vagabond.
There's,
And
there was an
Louis-
expression of joy when he saw Baga, but as Shea kind of steps from behind, like there was that rising walk to go and hug his old friend, but then that moment he stops and immediately goes rigid, and there's just like that the thing of bears standing on their 2 feet like to get into like don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is exactly what he does as his like
And Louise just runs across the booth and leaps into this tiger's arms. And she's like, "You're here! Sheer, it's so good to see you! Oh, I still have my cloak that you gave me." And she's just like running off into his ear, and Sheer's just giving her the biggest hug, his tail flicking back and forth. And suddenly he's gone from looking predatory to just happy. Like, just happy. And he's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you, little one. Oh, look at you. You've grown so much." Chuki, still beautiful as always.
Flattery
Has she
gets
grown as well?
Flattery gets you nowhere. And she's going to find a little spot on the booth and is going to raise her hand, and she is already aware that the order was placed as soon as she came in, and there's a glass that has ice in it, and then a coffee is pulled out as well.
Kafra is already on it, like making sure that it's all there. And Louise, go ahead.
Thing, the jovial nature that Chuki had, like as soon as she sees Sheer, because I'm going to propose that she knows Sheer, not maybe as well as Bhaloo knows Sheer, but she knows Sheer and kind of knows enough about him to also be a little like,
Yeah, so Sheer is a vagabond. He is a former spy and scout in the Four.
I know, I told you. It's double agent, I know.
Oh, I don't even care if he's a double agent, Bhaloo. And she pours the hot coffee over the ice, which gives us this little floral scent, as it's a specialty coffee from where she's from. This is a special African style way that you serve coffee, by the way. I found out
Nice.
that she does this. I just don't trust him on principle.
You shouldn't trust me, especially you. Oh, you're so silly, Sheer. It's so great to see you. Uncle Baloo's here, and then my new mama is here, Boomy, and you already know my first mama, Chuki, and these are my really really good friends, Ricardo, who's like a brother to me, and Samael, who is like another brother, but like one that sings as opposed to tells unintentional jokes.
Did she call me uncle? There's like a cracking mirror sound.
No. She didn't say uncle. I think she said papa, didn't she? I thought she said
You said
papa.
uncle.
You said
Uncle,
uncle,
okay,
that's
never
why
mind.
I was also
I was just like-
concerned.
She didn't say,
Yeah.
she didn't say uncle. She said papa. Sorry about that. She's like, is there papa? And then And she was like, oh. And of course, the whole time his tail is just like kind of flicking back and forth. There's something, it almost like it has a life of its own.
Hey, guide.
Yes.
May I spend a token
Absolutely,
to reveal something
always.
hidden about Sheer?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh,
And
Ooh.
I get to ask him what it is, but it's just, why shouldn't we trust you?
So, Sheer says, oh, well, you get the sense, and I'm going to answer this above table.
mhm.
What you're getting is that Sheer is shady. And Sheer is kind of cut from the same cloth as Chuki in some ways. Like just cunning and so his traits, just to kind of,
Mhm.
lay it all out, he is crafty, cunning, and feral.
Okay.
And so while Sheer is treating Louise with the utmost kindness of an older sibling, Sheer is not been a nice person in his past.
There's a dark aura around him.
Yeah,
in
there's
some
a
way. Okay.
there's a darkness around him. And that is what Samael is kind of getting.
Okay.
Does he say something in response to
What
Samael's
is-
say?
What is his answer for why he shouldn't be trusted? I'm curious now.
Oh, what Sheer's answer? Oh, what
Mhm.
did Sheer say? Sheer says, oh, well, some would say my career as a spy and thief and gambler are the reasons why I shouldn't be trusted.
Chuki looks over to Ricardo and does career.
Aren't those all bad things?
Double agent. Double agent.
But I make an honest living as a caravan guard, protecting Kafra and looking after their interests.
Chuki looks Sheer up and down. Protecting how?
I travel with them. I make sure that no wild beasts attack the caravan.
How? Chuki gets a smile, like a little half smile on her face. How?
I'm not like you, Chuki. I'm still willing to draw my blade. And he kind of says that and lets that statement like hang in the room.
It is because you used daggers that have no edge, but cut nonetheless.
Chuki will place like a hand gently on Bhaloo's arm and like, I got it.
Louise is like,
here.
Sheer, why would you say something so mean to Chuki?
Louise, dearie, do you want to have a little bit of my coffee?
It'll keep me up all night, but okay.
Not these ones won't. Think of it more like a tea.
Like Louise looks disappointed in Sheer.
Think of it more like a tea. And Chuki is going to rise, motion for Bhaloo to follow, and is just going to walk up. She is definitely like feet smaller than Sheer.
Yeah. And Sheer just like folds
Mandible.
his arms while the two of you are involved in this confrontation. And Louise like looks and then heads off. And
I think I'd step in range, and like there's a thing which he usually does, which he just jumps off and just lands on me, catching the lapels of my coat. Or would she? I do the familiar motion.
Hold on. Let me rewind. So Louise took the drink, and are you saying you wanted Louise to come back? Or did you want, like, because I thought the two of you were going to confront Sheer privately.
No, she's
Well,
not making this private.
Yeah, and right now, as at least I understand that Louise is with Sheer. Like, she's still being held
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So we're going to go retreat our ward.
Okay, yeah, you go
Retrieve
retrieve.
our ward.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. Yeah, Louise. So Louise is like up in your coat now. Okay, and she's up there, and she's just like sipping the coffee with her. Maybe one of her feet has the cup, and she's like drinking.
It has a very like floral taste to it. So Chuki looks to Sheer, looks at his waist. I'm assuming he probably has daggers at his waist.
He has this like long dagger that's like curved that he has like at his side. It's
Oh.
almost a sword, but like a short sword.
It's the most wicked looking kukri you've ever seen.
Yeah, wicked looking kukri.
She removes the sword from her side and like just sets it on against the ground and just leans on it. Sheer, you haven't been around for a bit. I've been terrified of becoming Chuki again. You've seen the aftermath of what I do as Chuki. But you know what I learned? Traveling with them, helping take care of Louise, helping to raise people, is that I don't have to be afraid of who I was. But Sheer, if you really want to go down that path and pretend to be some scary individual, I'll remind you why you should be afraid of me. And she just gives the warmest smile that has the faintest glimmer of who she was in the war.
I'm gonna make a move that Sheer can always do.
Okay.
And Sheer is gonna ask the question, what's stopping you?
She cracks her neck, and I'm going to spend a token myself.
Okay.
Revealing something hidden about the person in front of me and asking what it is.
Ooh, okay.
Give us all your secrets.
Hidden about Sheer and tell you what it is. Sheer is infatuated with you. Like, completely. And that infatuation wouldn't exist if there wasn't any kind of respect. So, like, this is a front.
She kind of cracks her neck a little. Sheer, I can guarantee you everyone here knows that I'm a better fighter than you. I'm faster. I'm definitely not stronger, but I've been in more one-on-ones than you. But the only thing you have going against me there is, well, you're bigger. That's not saying much. Ricardo's bigger than me.
I am.
But if you really wanted to get my attention so badly, girls like flowers. Try getting some flowers.
The sword is vibrating.
She is it's like
And
she
you-
has her body like this,
and
but her hand is
you-
twitching.
And Sam can both hear. I am so hungry. You can strike this fool down. Feed me now.
Sheer, I have a question for you.
Yes. I'd be happy to answer any question you ask me.
I'm sure you would.
Like earlier, when a calming hand came from Chuki to Bhaloo, the calming hand goes again from Bhaloo to Chuki, just in the middle of her back, resting.
She lifts the blade and then holds it out in front of Sheer. Take it.
Sheer goes out and holds it.
Lets out a breath. Hold on to
Bhaloo's
that.
jaw drops.
Hold on to that. Find somewhere to bury the stupid thing. You're right. I'm not who I was. And I'm choosing to not be who I was. What about you, Sheer? How about you stop being Sheer the thief, Sheer the spy, Sheer the vagabond? Be something that maybe I can look at with some pride.
Guide. Yeah, I
Yes.
spend a token.
Absolutely.
Two things. The token is to give someone sorry. Let me get back to where I was. Give something that has the potential to change someone fundamentally. And I would like to give Sheer one of the last remaining little like garland things that I made for the Bumbles. And it has a kind of I think this is one that possibly Boomy helped make, where it's, woven, flower crown-esque with the actual plant part, but it's also got a braided ribbon thing with like a tassel and possibly a bit of bead. And I'm going to offer that. But also, I'm going to ask, do you want to be my friend? You seem like you could use some. And I think I could use some too.
To Sheer?
Yeah.
Sheer,
Offering this,
yeah, Sheer
silly
accepts
little garland.
the token, the garland. And I would love to be your friend. I think that would be delightful. He just carefully like pins it, just using one hand, using his claws. He like kind of punches the thread and runs it through the fabric so it stays.
Is he actually sincere as he does that? The scowl lessens just a little bit.
Chuki, I would be honored to dispose of this for you.
Thank you. And my name's not Chuki.
Is it not?
You had a different name. Samael and Chuki can hear. It's muffled, but you can hear the blade screaming in rage. This is not what I meant. Fine, I will make this fool draw this blade, and he will feed me.
For the first time, because Samael has never actually touched Chuki's blade, never in the entirety of Chuki holding it.
Yeah.
Just kind of reaches out and just a gentle little pat to the thing. Just the gentlest little pat.
I will give this to everyone. There is no response from Sheer to this voice.
Okay.
There's nothing on Sheer's face that indicates he hears anything strange. Like, he's just kind of like, yeah, he still has that kind of softened, self-assured look, but like he doesn't even like. It's like a
Poker
It's-
face.
it's like handing a cursed sword to somebody who's immune to curses.
Good.
Yep.
That look of like, what, like, does that make sense?
Hmm.
Um,
I think Bhaloo would just like grunt and harumph.
see, that's better.
This is
We're all friends now.
this is the first time that you have shown some anything. Do not.
I will use a token if possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this time I will use it against you, Bhaloo. I will use a move that is called spend a token in order to ask, why can't things be different? As Ricardo is putting a hand on your side. People change.
So I think the first thing that you would all kind of see is that first, like, he still had his arm on Chuki, the person who was Chuki, on her shoulder, and he is trying to not show it to her, but his head is turned to the side, and he's just kind of like trying to cover his eyes because he's crying and a little laughing as he just gives her shoulder a squeeze. And then this question comes, and I suppose if this has happened, anything can. But why? You know, Sheer G, as we all know, that I saw you when you were spying for everybody and being very merchant about where the information went. You betrayed the rebellion. I saw, and I will not forget.
Bhaloo. What rebellion? Where are we now?
You have shown me
You
that
didn't see her eyes in the final battle. Our so-called great general of the purple orchid, Hollow. Pyrrhic victory. What did I actually betray, Bhaloo? How much did we have to sacrifice for this peace?
this whole time the moon bear is just getting but when he hears his friend call out, he would just collapse and slam his paw into the ground.
My love. And Boomy rushes to you and puts a comforting arm over your shoulders.
It is all right, my love. Dear heart, let me introduce you to a friend. but he might, for the first time since I have known him, have shown that he is capable of something other than what makes him himself. And he will look very pointedly at the sword in his hand and catch his eyes. I did not imagine that you would have the moral caliber to resist and take that duty. Or more surprised that the one who was Chuki gave it to you. That implies a trust, and you are an icon of that. Do not disappoint her.
Kafra inundates themselves into the conversation. She brings two things. In one hand, a tall bow staff carved with light, nothing that would interfere with the weight, but carved with just very light carvings that are indigenous to the region of Haeth that Chuki is from. And a long box. You shouldn't go out on the road completely undefended. But this is not a weapon. This is a walking stick. And hands, and it's long. It's almost double your height.
Yeah.
But it's just the right balance. And it is in the style of the African long pole staffs that they use, that the Bushmen use, is what it looks like. And it is literally, you can smell it, and it is from those rare trees that are actually root systems, reaching for the water, that they're carved from, and like holding it in your hand it just reminds you of home. And she hands the box to Sheer, and it has like a lock, and he opens it up, and Sheer puts the sword in the lock box. And for the first time, the sword, you all see the sword start to shake as Sheer quickly slams it shut. And yes, go ahead.
So right before the box snaps shut, I would like to put one flower, just one, in with it.
Awesome. Take a token for leaving an offering to the small and forgotten gods for that moment. And Kafra says, "Thank you, Samael." And you've already made the offering necessary. And Kafra pulls out like a long strip of paper that appears to have a prayer written on it, binding evil. And with a flick of her wrist, the paper wraps around it and starts to glow. And then the box stops shaking and calms. Could you describe the aroma of the flower that you just put in to the box?
I don't know if they have them here. It's not an orchid, but it was purple.
Mm-hmm.
An azalea, which is technically poisonous, but they haven't. I don't know how to describe their smell. It's sweet, but in a weird sort of way. I don't know. It makes my nose tingle. I love them, but they're poisonous.
that fragrance just fills the room, and everything goes quiet as you hear the whistle of the tea, the water just being ready, and Kafra is just a little bit startled by that.
Do you want help, Kafra?
I would love help. And with that, we'll take our second break. We'll be back in 15 minutes and head on in to our final moments of chapter 2. And we're back. In an interesting moment of change. In the following moments in time, Kafra serves everyone tea, brings out snacks, food, comforting things from their homeland of Indra. And I would like to take a little bit of a moment to cut to Bhaloo and Mother Juniper sometime after this gathering. Bhaloo and Mother Juniper are sharing perhaps a pre-dinner tea. The rest of you have what could either could like Mother Juniper has shown you to your lodgings, but in this moment, Bhaloo and Mother Juniper are alone, just the two of them, in a side room in the temple. Other players, you are open to make moves of the place that we're in
Mm-hmm.
so that you don't feel completely isolated. Or if you wish to sort of hop in organically at a moment that feels dramatically appropriate, just let us know. Mother Juniper looks to you and says very pointedly, "What have you done to that girl?"
So I think like how the moment would be is that there is a set of fountains in the temple
Mhm.
where she usually goes to kind of relax at because it has her favorite mango trees,
Mhm.
and it's a beautiful place. And there's a it's not really a dagobah. It's just like a table
Mhm.
of wood and just stools.
The sun's already
And
gone down. The fireflies are illuminating the mango trees.
uh, he would have been walking in with a tray of tea and two glasses, and I think she would have been just looking into the fountain and turned back and said that. And uh, Baloo uh, reacts like if he was punched in the solar plexus, like just takes a half pause, and the tray rattles. It's only his years of experience that keep all of the things on the tray in his hands as he takes a stumbling little step and continues walking to her. I,
I am not
I am.
talking about Louise.
What have I done for her?
Me.
Amu, I. You helped me get through.
Yes. And she kind of moves and sits down at the table and just kind of, motions for you to sit and put down the tray of tea. And she will wait there patiently, her eyes not losing, just trained on you.
Uh, it is only because of the depth of trust that, at this point, he would not be actually employing his usual humor as a deflection. He would stay serious, and otherwise he would have wanted to move. This would not be something that he'd necessarily want to go through, but his mother has asked him a question. Um, I had made my peace, Amu. And you know that.
I
There
was
was a
there,
moment.
but there she is.
We had an encounter with the spirit, a
Velashko.
chamberlain, before the great and mighty Velashko.
Ah,
There was a chamberlain that we'd met, and using that opportunity, I thought she had always wanted a little one, and we could not do that. I had the blessing of Louise for many years, and I finally thought that I could at least take a chance to show her who I had raised. But she's a wonder, Amo. She's she's
how did she come back from the far lands? How is she alive? This wish is so.
she spoke to me and shared her heart. She feels lost, and as she rightly should. She was also at peace where she was, and unfortunately, my daughter did not think to ask what her soul, in all its splendor, wanted to do. She asked Balashku, the mighty, but from what I understand, his power ran through her, worked through her as a conduit. It is a capability and a power that my little one has. I fear I have not taught her the responsibility. In the moment, I was transfixed because she was back. She was back. She was very,
Love
inches.
is very powerful, but it can make fools of us all.
I have only tried to do as one very wise friend of mine said, be happy for the time that I have with her. My love is for her is not a bonsai. It is not a tree that is contained. She is much more than that. She wanted to be a mother, and now she has gotten that chance. And it gladdens my heart to see how that picture started appearing and gaining more clarity. But Louise made a
Oh,
mistake.
If I may,
yes.
I would like to introduce a new buggy creature
Oh,
in a
okay.
particular
Oh.
way,
Okay. What does
and
it look like? What is it? Go ahead.
it's a hawk moth, a death's head hawk moth to be exact. And this is kind of a little jump cut moment, not complete jump cut, but as Bhaloo's words and Mother Juniper's words are happening, this moth appears, flutters in, kind of lands in the lap of Boomy for a moment, and then after time leaves to join the scene with Bhaloo and Mother Juniper. And I think it takes up space kind of on some of the fountain work, like the rim of it, near Bhaloo, just kind of gently flapping its wings.
My nostrils immediately catch her scent, and he just starts crying, quietly sobbing.
That is an interesting omen.
Amo, I do not know what to do. Please, guide me with your wisdom, as you did once before, many a time.
I would say that Boomy feels lost, and Louise is new to her power and is a child. I do not wish to take you away from the joys of the road, but I think perhaps you and your little family should stay here. I will write a letter to Baga. She is like a sister to me. Have her come and stay here for a time, a season or two. Instruct Louise in the ways of communing with the gods and preserving the balance. And perhaps in that time we can counsel Boomy and help her find harmony with the land once again. This is a spiritual healing place.
He would listen to the core of his being. His shoulders are still kind of shaking a little bit.
What are your feelings on the matter? And this is a move, by the way, that she can do.
Oh,
Ask, what are your feelings on the matter?
I have tried my best, but perhaps not everything that a guardian that Louise needs. And if Bhaga Akka also comes, that would be only amazing. And of course, if Booby could be led to some peace, that is all I could ask for. But my heart clenches. And the eyes that look up are like they are old tears, but like there is a like the eyes just quiver a little bit. My friends are my friends. But I saw her change. She let go of her sword. She is my old friend now. Older. And the young ones,
They will always be welcome here.
of course. Of course. This is something that I'm aware of.
But
I
Chuki will. She is.
not Chuki, Hamo, not Chuki. Jizazi,
She using her old name again?
yes.
Oh, what a relief. I don't like what that name Chuki means. It is deceptively cute. It means hatred in her native tongue.
Indeed. She has changed. Ricardo. Questions he asks are impactful. And Samael, that one, he's always going to be a good friend. I
have seen his fate in the stars. Samael's journey is not finished. They will meet others.
He will be fine. Ricardo will always be fine.
And Ricardo, if you wish, I can read his fortune. You might not like what you hear.
If there is anybody that I do not have to hear the fortune of, it is young Ricardo. He makes his own move. He is far too honest for anything else.
Tangle and the weave.
Tangles.
My favorite. She puts her hand on your hand. It need not be forever, but the Chrysalis temple. For now. Be home.
Give me till morning so that I can figure how to explain it to them. They deserve that, at least.
Take your time. And with that,
Kind of bite his lip and
I think
look up.
yes.
as this is occurring, the moth
Mhm.
kind of takes its opportunity to climb up onto the hand that is placed on Bhaloo's. It just kind of does its little moth thing and then flies away.
Somehow from somewhere just a shiver runs through his soul.
And with that, the two of you head off to go meet the others for dinner. But I would like to know what the three of you were doing in the meantime before dinner.
I would say that maybe going to inspect what other things there are in the vicinity, as well as still, Ricardo is probably still trying to find the biggest bumblebee or whatever other kind of most impactful bumblebee there is.
Okay.
The greatest of the bumbles.
Greatest of them all.
The greatest of the bumbles. Ricardo, you're, looking around, going from place to place, trying to find it. And I'm going to introduce a new buggy friend. And you find it. His name is Colossus. That is what the owner calls him. And he is a bumble the size of a horse.
Oh my god.
Just massive. Okay. And you see all these children like just petting it happily. And you see this goat shepherd is there, and there's like a little sign that says, Colossus, he's friendly, like right underneath. Hello there.
Hello.
So we were looking at Colossus the bumble.
We were.
Colossus's keeper, a kindly goat herder, a herder that is a goat, not a herder of goats.
Yeah.
Just to clarify, is setting off this little like leather harness with really long buckles. Like I'm talking like 10 feet long. This has to be like a custom. This is definitely a custom harness. And he's getting like a little wooden ladder to put on the side of Colossus. And he's like, all right, go on ahead.
Anything I need to know?
Hold on tight. And
I will.
whoo, and all of a sudden, he just takes off. And
He's off the
flying
races.
through the air. The stars are shining bright. A whole herd, you fly through like a herd of fireflies, and like your tendrils like come undone, and they're just kind of flapping in the wind, and you feel. How do you feel? Actually, I'm going to ask you, how does Ricardo feel flying through the air on this massive, warm, fuzzy bumblebee high over these entire temple grounds that are illuminated with lanterns and fireflies?
Okay, I will say at first that the sensation is similar to that of when roller coasters just stop for a second and are getting ready to just go boom at full speed. It's that sort of feeling with the whole adrenaline pumping into the veins, and Ricardo at first moment is terrified by the whole situation, but the moment that it starts to get used to the speed, that's when he will just climb over by grabbing onto the hair of this bumblebee and trying to get to one position in which he can look at everything. And at that moment, you said that it was nighttime, right?
Yes.
Okay. He will stop for a second when the bumblebee just stops at the high point and look towards the endless stars in the skies.
And
just mesmerized by it all.
And you see it. It is beautiful and infinite. And slowly but surely, as if Colossus knows, he just starts to kind of descend, but kind of in a swaying way so that you can hold your balance and still look at the stars on your way back down to the temple.
Okay. Nice. That way, I will, as we are both going down, I start to pet a bit this Colossus while saying, we need to show Samael all of this. And he will just do a bit of more of a patting strongly on the side to kind of try to direct him to one sort of location in particular that he has seen Samael going to.
All right. They fly over towards there. Samael, where are you?
I think I'm in the middle of like kind of chasing fireflies in the way that like the way that you like chase chickens. Yeah. Just trying to pick one up because okay, I'm gonna pick up a firefly. Why not? He's here.
And it's at that point this bumble flies down like near where you are. It is like the biggest bumble you have ever seen. Ricardo, what are you doing? Are you just showing like flying by, or are you trying to grab like?
I feel that at first Samael, while chasing the butterflies and all that, he will be illuminated by the whole entirety of the moonlight. And at one point the moonlight just goes out. And there's a huge bumblebee coming towards.
I have the light of the moon and the fireflies, and then all of a sudden all I have is firefly light. What just happened?
Yeah. and it tries to land safely, but there's this huge, colossal bumblebee that just goes and holds while trying to get towards your side, and the ground just trembles with the whole huge creature that appears by your side. And you see a small Ricardo in comparison on top of it, just saying, "Come over!
Oh,
You need to try this."
wait! Move over! He starts trying to climb up too.
Yeah, you're able to climb up the side of the harness, because there's no ladder.
Yeah.
And you get.
Also, I have good jumps.
Yes, you have good jumps. Yeah. And as soon as you
You're
get
being
on
so bad.
and you feel the weight, it's almost like Colossus immediately responds to another passenger and takes off again into the sky.
Oh. I have no clue how to drive this.
But we'll figure it out. Let's find Louise.
We need to find Louise.
And then, it eventually breaks over the cloud cover.
Okay.
And it's
I didn't
quiet.
know rumbles could fly so high.
And you can see the stars up above. And then you see just a herd of dragonflies. Bright and multicolored, illuminated by the moonlight. Just swarming and flying by either side of you. And Colossus just like not really talking, but
Having a good old time.
Emoting.
Yeah. Emoting. Okay. Do you remember when we used to go out to the forest and look at the stars above?
Yeah, the big trees.
The big trees. Now, from here you can see them all. In fact, I have never seen that one. He starts pointing to one in particular, but I have no clue which one it is among the many that there are.
Looking around. Wow. Touch cloud. Pet a bumble. And I think at some point, Samael gives Ricardo a really big hug and says, "Thank you for being my friend."
Thank you for being my friend as well. I needed some back home, and I am grateful that I got to find you.
Did you have fun at the fairgrounds while you were there?
Some of it, I had some stuff with my family back home, but I think we ended on good terms, and I sort of really wanted to find my own family as well. Why were you gone so long, Samael?
I told you I followed the... And it's clear that as he's starting this line of, I told you I was following the candle, that candle would have burnt out well before he could have gotten too far, so... Eventually, he does start to tell the truth. It just takes him a bit and a couple of mistries of, I meant to come back sooner, but, well, I mean,
We missed you. I missed you.
I didn't think anyone would notice I was gone. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We need to find our own paths as well. It's okay if you had to go out for a bit and try to find your own. But if you do need to go on that path with someone else, I can be there as well if you want to.
Promise?
I promise. And he extends his hand towards you.
You shake on it.
Okay.
And eventually, Colossus dips down back below the crowds, and you see Louise and Boomy with the goat herder
So
as they
marginally
land. Mm-hmm.
marginally reckless thing. Samael kind of using the harness itself kind of hooks a leg in and slides to the side so that he could reach out for Louise. Just like, come on up.
Uh, Boomy smiles mischievously and picks up Louise, so you guys can kind of swoop down and pick Louise up. And wait, Colossus, and Colossus is like, and flies up into the air. And you go for
Children
another.
are being bad.
You go through another loop around the temple complex, and Louise is like, "This is so amazing! Oh, I thought being on the back of Velashku was magical, but this is great."
This is being great as well.
Should we find Bhaloo? No, we shouldn't find Bhaloo. He'd be upset.
No, we need to
Ew.
go out. We need to go eat dinner.
Oh yeah,
As soon as
dinner.
we're done with this ride. And you have a wonderful ride through the night sky with Louise, and eventually all find yourselves
Mhm.
at a long table in the quarters of Mother Juniper, all sitting around, and Mother Juniper brings out a fantastic meal of uh, uh, naan and pita bread and steamed vegetables and uh, honey braised meats and just kind of all arrayed with like spiced saffron rice and iced sangria and cider, all sweetened with honey and various different pastries and such. And it is a fantastic meal. Everyone, please take a plate, serve as much as you like, eat. Let's enjoy the gathering of herds. And you
Humble
all,
time.
yes, Bumble time. And you guys are all just like
You are
enjoying.
in for a treat if you thought I was a good cook. You see what Amu does? And just like greedily starts walking up to the table to sit and eat with his family.
Okay.
So you all have a wonderful meal. It is deliciously spiced, warm, filling. Everyone ends up having, nice, clean, comfortable beds to sleep on that are in, little kind of monk's chambers, as it were, little comfy cells that everyone can, rest in and have their own space and wash basin. And uh, so before we bed down for the night, what would you all like to do in these last moments that you are all together?
If you'd permit, I have an idea, I think.
Okay.
Looking at all of this interaction happen with the young ones, Louise and the Colossus, Yeah, I think he would be sitting out on some steps, just like, chin in his hands and his paws, and just looking at all of this with a smile. Um, because in this moment, I think she knows that a choice has to be made, and let her enjoy it. I trust her. But yeah, I think he would fill a pipe and start smoking it really slowly. And I think maybe somewhere coming down from your high, my friend Chizazi would, Chizaji, sorry, would smell that familiar scent.
Tazaji, will you join Bhaloo after dinner for a smoke?
Absolutely, she would.
Okay. All right. We'll start off with the two of you.
Care to let me have some as well?
Down from the other world, no?
It's a celebration, it feels like. Might as well loosen up a little bit.
Chizaji. And he would just smile and offer the pipe.
Take a couple puffs, hand it back. What do you intend to do when all of this is over? We feel we have reached a crossroads, I suppose.
How do you always do this? You know me too well.
You are very bad at hiding your emotional state, irregardless of your puffing.
It's not like I don't try, all right?
Try harder.
Well, to be very honest, my friend, I think I have come to a point where we are all at the best place for Louise and Omi to have attained more clarity about themselves and their path in our lives. But I think I would take a large toe and then just hold it in for a long time, holding the silence, letting it out, then turning. I think I will stay here.
I will say, it surprised me that it took you that long to come to that decision.
You know me, slow a little bit.
But caring. Always have been.
So you let it go. Your sword.
I don't
The
need Nga.
sharpest one in the world.
I don't need Nga anymore. My war is over, I think.
Shizaji Wamoto, and I am glad to welcome you back.
If you intend to stay here, then I suppose this may be our last true night together for some time.
For some time, my friend. Because Habibi, there are miles yet to go.
I've also never believed in forever goodbyes.
Yes, that would be that is going to that would have been a little bad, I suppose. And his accent kind of comes back into play because he was at certain moments like dropping into a very his language as opposed to the little more put on accent that he sometimes does after having come from Indra.
She looks at the staff that was given to her, just looking at the top of it. Bhaloo, my friend, I have a favor to ask of you.
Ask it.
My name, Fire Dancer. It. Would you mind, at some point in the evening, waking Louisa up and bringing her to the center of this place? I want to say goodbye to her in my way.
Chuki, as much as I am father, you have always been her mother. And now she has more, but the connection that you have with her, that is not one that she will ever replace. And a hand goes out and just annoyingly, like, kind of ruffles your hair a little rougher at first, but then slowly getting back to the softer.
She purrs. Like ears flick down and she actually purrs and just seems to relax a little. Hi, Mitty.
Aww.
And meows.
And meows.
Of course, that is something that I will do.
She
She's
takes another
probably
couple
not.
puffs.
She's probably not gone to bed yet, of course.
Probably not. But it'll take me a bit to prepare what I want to do.
You take your time. That is always how you have dealt with things, Chisachi.
She takes one last puff, hands the pipe back, stretches, and a lot more loose than her rigid soldier walk. She begins to make her way back up the stairs and then heads towards the outside.
Ricardo,
Mhm.
how would you be spending the final moments before retiring for the night? This final night that you are with these travelers.
I would say that while we are having dinner all together and seeing us all as part of a big family table, at one point in the conversation that we are probably having, he'll interrupt to say, "Does this mean that we are now actually a family?"
Umi says, I think so.
Thank you.
Oh,
I think it
Ricardo.
would be nice to be brothers and not just friends.
I would like that, says, looking at Samael.
Umi says, Ricardo, you are so special. And I just want you to know that any time that we talk or we're walking, it's a moment where I feel like I know where I'm going.
That means a lot. How about you, Chuki? Sorry, I keep forgetting. How was your new name? Sorry, your
Chisachi.
old name? Chisachi.
Chisachi.
Yeah,
Her head tilts.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. I'm sorry. What was your question?
How do you feel about being a family?
She's gonna just slowly walk over to Ricardo and then place a hand on the top of your head. Rubs the top of it a little. I'd be proud to call you my son.
Now I have 2 moms. No, I have 3 moms now. Ricardo, I have 3 moms now. And
Oh shit! They have 3 moms
Papa?
now as well.
Mhm.
I didn't have a papa before.
Mother Juniper just chuckles at the 3 moms revelations. And simply says, well, 3 mothers, 3 times the dessert.
I like that.
Only
And-
2 of them give desserts.
She thinks about it. I have a soft spot for honey cake. So,
Then honey cake is coming. And, this moment initiated by Ricardo, this conversation about family, is answered with lots and lots of dessert.
before we fully finish the night, as she has a bit of the honey cake, I almost forgot. Everyone outside.
And I'm assuming this is before the smoking conversation.
This is after the smoking conversation.
But
After,
no, this would have been at dinner, I thought.
would have been at dinner.
This
Yeah.
is the dinner? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this would have been prior to and then
So
smoking after.
mhm.
Yeah.
As Bhaloo gets up, grinning and encouraging Louise, as he passes by Ricardo and Samael, as they're sitting close by, he just ruffled both their heads with a grin and just walk on.
Everyone heads outside with the artist formerly known as Chuki. I've always wanted to make that joke.
She is at the top of the staff. She is placing from her bag. You see her reaching and pulling what seems like different arrangements of different styles of sticks at the top, like pushing them in. Once they're arranged, she sets it down and places then dried grass that she has gathered on the top, and then a flint and sparks it. The grass catches first, which she stamps out, but the sticks remain on fire as she lifts the staff and looks at it. Just lets out a soft prayer and begins to spin and twirl the staff as the fire dances around her with each spin.
Ooh. Take a token for your offering to the small and forgotten gods. Samael, what moment before you all turn in for the night would you like to share with us?
So I think it might be a 2-part thing. I say 2-part in the sense of small flashback to earlier when we had been speaking with Sheer and company.
Yeah, let's flash back to that moment with Sheer and company, and then we will flash back forward to.
And I think I'm pretty much doing what Chizazi just did, where I'm using my magical ability.
Okay, all right.
So the tense moment having ended, the smell of the flowers going out, Chizazi going to help was it Kafta? No.
Kafra.
Kafra.
Yeah.
Going to help her out. Just takes a moment, looks around the room, and just kind of closes his eyes, and then somehow impossibly closes them again. And when he looks around at each of them, he starts with Bhaloo and the people he knows, but also Sheer. And while in the state, I can see this light inside their heart and the shape it takes. Making a point not to look at any other bright lights in the room because that would be probably scarring.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to know what shape specifically the light in Shear's heart takes compared to the shape of my friends.
Shear's heart is the shape of a pair of dice.
And I suppose that means the light is coming from each of the pips on it.
Mhm. Yeah, kind of outlined the pips and the edges.
And-
Bhaloo, what does your heart look like in light?
It is at all times and at every single instance. It is the most ideal teddy bear that anyone would want.
Our former veteran,
It is a sword half buried in the ground. The light coming from the bits of the metal still shining from the sword.
our fool,
I would say that what you can see within the heart, this light, is some sort of butterfly perched near a pond. Particularly the whole shape of the fire of the butterfly just shining over the pond.
Boomies is a lotus blossom, but it's a white light, not like sunlight. It looks more like moonlight. Khafra's is a jewel,
Okay.
like an ornately cut jewel, like you could like the outline. Oop,
Yep.
the outline.
Where each facet is
where
doing its own.
it is, and you have to look away from Louise's. It is so bright. It blazes like a sun.
I think the very last thing I want to, jumping back forward, I think doing so again to look at Jizazi as he asks, "Will you dance with me?"
Of course. Teach me.
And Samael does.
Which dance does Samael teach?
I am going to teach. I'm going to dance the dance with the broken and crumbling to remind it what it was and could be.
Oh.
Oof.
Wow.
Yo, yo. Nice.
And as you embrace this dance and you see a potential for what you could be, what does your heart look like now?
Son.
I think that revelation ends a song from Samael as he's teaching you this dance. And it's much more upbeat than any of the ones that he has sung quietly or otherwise with the group thus far.
Song echoes and entwines with the dance. Was it the fire dance that you were going to show Louise?
Yes.
I think that this moment flashes forward and you do a more private and sacred dance for Louise while she's in her nightgown in the heart of the temple, hugging onto Bhaloo, looking in wonder. The rest of you having gone and rested for the night. And her final moment is in the sacred place with Louise cuddling close, Ricardo and Samael drifting off into dream-filled sleeps, and a newly born fire dancer sharing the truth of her heart in the dead of night with someone who also shares a sun-shaped heart. And with that, we conclude Chapter 2 of A Season's Oath. Thank you all so much for going on this journey with us. I am Okami. I have been your guide. I want to give a very special announcement. We will be continuing next Sunday with an all-new cast of travelers for Chapter 3. So while this is a goodbye, it is not a goodbye forever. And we will be continuing to raise funds all throughout April for this charity cause. So please stick with us. This chapter may have come to a conclusion, but the road continues going ever on. And with that, my amazing players, thank you so much. Please, I'm going to close this out. Tell the world who you are, one project that you're working on, and one piece of love that you would like to share about your fellow players at this moment. And I'm going to go ahead and start it off with Jhevaunte.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jhevaunte. I played Chuki, now known collectively as Nshizaji Wamoto, or Fire Dancer. Other stuff that I am in and that you can check me out on. Every Thursday, I run a D&D campaign on regular, opposing Thursdays. It's either Set Sail, a One Piece D&D actual play adventure, or it's Blood and Cinders, a game set in the world of Nat 19 Somnus Domina, which has been going great. You can also catch me on Pluto Page with Pluto's Underworld, where I play DLSEO Polka at a Sentai Sensibility game on Mondays. This was awesome. I adore games where there's no combat, where it's just storytelling. Jeez. I can't single out anybody in specific. No, I love all of my fellow cast.
Wonderful.
You all are such good storytellers. I had a brilliant time. So yes, this was great. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Aadi.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Hello, folks of the internet. I am Aadi MK. You can usually find me at Noonlight Creations on Instagram or Noonlight Creations on Twitch, where I'm going to try to do more things, but usually I at least run a D&D homebrew game called The Tides of Atlantis on Thursdays. And it's gone wild. We've gone through 17 sessions and we've gone through 2.5 days of campaign time. So, but this is the first time I have been graced with the opportunity to play Wanderhome, and I cannot thank Hector enough for having done so, and to meet all of you amazing people. I mean, much love to everybody here. This was among the most favorite storytelling that I have been part of recently, and that is collectively only possible by every person at this table. And like least of all, like someone who facilitates some amazing transitions. Our guide, Hector, Papi, too much. I love it. All of it. I will stop. And I will say that I think I would have taken, Bhaloo would have taken Samael and Ricardo aside and just gone, I don't know if you need fathers. Those have enough issues. But you are always free to call me brother
Hey,
and come back.
speaking of fathers, my dad's calling me. Now, keep going.
Yeah. He would have pulled you aside and said that and then leaned down and just pulled you both into a hug.
Oh, a bear hug, literally.
And you would look, he's still with his arms around you. He'd look back and you would have tears in eyes. Family is always something that is found. And once it has bloomed, there is no tide that will ever pull it away.
Tomas.
I
honest. Sorry, I
sorry.
got moved by the whole
sorry.
scene.
All good.
I'm
Tomas.
sorry.
Tell
I'm
us.
sorry. I will
Tell
pass
us.
on it to Tomas.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Tell us,
Hello, I
tell us who
am
you are
Tomas Jimenez
after that beautiful
Rioja,
singer.
pronouns he, him, and I have been playing Ricardo, the Fool. And I am a game designer, writer, project manager, software engineer, actual player, plenty of other stuff. You can find me on the internet at T Gimenez RGM. That's spelled TGIMENEZ, the letter R, GM. And as for something from this game as well, this has been my first time playing Wanderhome, and I had a magnificent time just because I got to play with you all that are such amazing storytellers. Being able to play in a game that is all about us creating the story instead of having to rely so heavily on a system that is crunchy or whatever, just as Jhevaunte was saying before, if it has combat, it relies a lot on that particularly, but this doesn't even have dice in it. It's just tokens and us talking and creating a fantastic story altogether. So yeah, I want to stand out of that, as well as our magnificent producer Kallum and all the amazing talks that we have been having in between our sessions and pauses and all of that. I just wanted to highlight it as well because that it has been just part of the whole experience as a whole being so amazing. And well, I have to just popcorn it to our amazing Samael.
Yes.
Hi,
Legend.
everybody.
Legend.
I'm Forta, or Lex. On the internet, it's FORTAVER with and without the dash in between, or LexArts with 2 X's. Right now, I have commissions open on the down low, but like I'm not advertising them places super great. So if you heard this, you heard this. If you didn't, you didn't. And something I loved about. Okay, so I think we've all said we've loved the storytelling aspect of this system and the storytelling chops of our fellow players, but like I think something I loved from this session especially was that really tense moment where we all went, okay, we have to get our feelings out about what happened in the past, but also let us continue to look to the future. And that was just very, very nice how that, came together like that. So thank
Full
you all
circle.
yes, I love full circle moments in stories, and this was a very nice one.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this road. And until next time, we're laying down for the night. Farewell.